Hello, everyone. So today's topic is gold and silver. So as an investor, if you're not already investing in gold and or silver, it is something you should seriously consider. So of course, I'm sure your first question is, well, why? Well, gold is a great way to diversify your portfolio. And essentially, there are two reasons why investors like to invest in gold or even other precious metals, but we'll talk about gold specifically for this part of the conversation. So, gold is that asset that, regardless of what's going on in the world or wherever you are in the world, it always has value. So, whether you are here in the US, if you're in Africa, you're in Asia, Antarctica, doesn't matter. Gold has intrinsic value. So, that means for you as an investor, you always have this asset that you can easily sell in the event that you do need cash. Now, when you think about gold, investors also like this asset because well, let's backtrack a bit. So let's go back to the why. So when it comes to gold in particular, it has value because it's universally valuable. Whereas things like stocks, it only has value if the company stays in business and is profitable, right? So when a company isn't doing well financially, one of the first things to happen is the stock price will start to decrease. And then if a company goes bankrupt, that stock is now worth zero. And let's think of how many publicly traded companies that were once popular, they had very expensive stocks, are now out of business and they no longer even exist. And so those stocks have value tied to a company, whereas gold itself has value irregardless. And that's why investors do gravitate to investing in gold. And they also like to invest in gold because when things are tumultuous in the economy, in the stock market, gold is that safe haven. It's that safe place to put your money. You know it's going to have value. It's never really going to go to zero in the foreseeable future. So it's like that safe place to put your money until the stock market kind of rebounds. And that's why investors do gravitate to gold. Now, gold currently, I'm just going to pull it up here so we all can look at it together because gold right now is kind of on the expensive side, and it has, I want to say, doubled in value in the last 5 years. And so I will say it's definitely a very smart place to put your money. I can't think of many stocks that have doubled in value in the last 5 years. So I'm just trying to get to Yahoo Finance. I've got like a gazillion tabs opened here. So let's see. If you look at gold, let me share my screen. I can share my screen while I'm doing this search. So let's take a peek. And then we'll talk different ways you can invest in gold because there are at least two, if not three. And so this is a chart showing you the price per ounce of gold present day. And so if I look at the last 5 years, you will see that gold is up about 85%. Let me just make sure that I'm actually sharing my screen because sometimes YouTube does its thing where it's not always working. Okay, you guys can see. Awesome. So if you see the natural progression of the price per ounce of gold, it has definitely done pretty well in the last 5 years. If you look at the last year, it's increased by 42%. And so you will notice that when the stock market isn't doing too well, the price of gold will start to shoot up. And it all comes down to basic supply and demand, right? So when there is an increase in demand, the price also increases. And so this is what we've seen happen with gold in the last 5 years or so. Now, you might look at this and say, well, ooh, that's kind of expensive. How do I buy an ounce of gold? I don't have $3,400 to just buy gold. And that is definitely a fair statement. So there's different ways you can invest in gold. So one thing that my husband and I talk about is we invest in companies that mine or handle gold. And so this gives you a way to invest in the gold industry without having to buy an ounce of gold. Now, those stocks tend to be a lot more affordable. And I think I'll share one. Of course, it's not I'm not telling you to buy these, but these are just some examples. I can't think of it now. I need to open up something. Hold on, guys. I need to take a peek at. Oh, I know it now. Newmont is one of them. I couldn't think of it for the life of me. My goodness. So Newmont is a company that is in the gold industry. And this is also why I really do like Yahoo Finance, because it gives you a nice little summary all in one place. So if you wanted to read about this company in particular, where is it? It's supposed to be here somewhere. Let's see. Profile, is that where it is? No, this is not. Okay, yeah, here it is. So you see here, Newmont Corporation engages in the production and exploration of gold properties. It also explores for copper, silver, zinc, lead, and other metals. It's primarily operated in the US, Canada, Mexico, etc. So if you do download the Yahoo Finance app, it's not sponsored by any means. It's something that I use personally. You can see all of this like on the go. And the app is a bit more easy to navigate than the website, in my opinion. And so I tend to use the app instead. So anyway, going back to the point, so their stock right now is $61 per share, give or take. And so that is a lot more affordable than buying a $3,400 ounce of gold. And so you'll see their stock is a bit volatile in the last 5 years. It hasn't grown in the same direction as gold itself, but it has done pretty well. If you look at last year, the stock is up almost 30%. And with most gold stocks, they do pay dividends, which is great. It's not a high dividend yield, but it is something. And so this is one way to invest in gold without buying an ounce of gold. Another thing you can do is you can buy pieces of jewelry, right? So those are easy ways to buy gold. But the best way to buy gold is to buy from a company that sells investment grade gold. Now, there are many retailers that do sell physical pieces of gold, whether it's bars or coins. Of course, you can always go to your traditional brokerage account. Now, the issue with brokerage accounts, though, they tend to have minimum requirements to make a purchase. So for example, Fidelity, I think their minimum is like $2,500 to buy gold or any kind of precious metal. So there's definitely some barriers to entry there. You also can buy from a brick and mortar location. There are many gold dealers across the country. Now, the caveat with that, though, is you want to make sure that they are, in fact, selling investment grade gold. Now, you might say, well, what is investment grade gold? Before I move on, let's talk about that first. So investment grade gold has a purity of 99.99%. So it's as close to 100% purity as possible. And so most brick and mortar locations will have that listed somewhere, either on the item you are purchasing or somewhere in their store. So you want to make sure that you ask that question before buying from a brick and mortar or even an online retailer. When it comes to one brick and mortar location, which you might not know, Costco. Costco sells gold, which is pretty interesting, and their prices are pretty reasonable. You can buy bars, you can buy coins. Of course, you must have a membership to make that purchase, and you can make that purchase either online or in store. But I believe they have limits on how many gold pieces you can buy in one transaction. And yes, their gold is investment grade gold, in case you were wondering. Now, there are online retailers where you can buy gold. Now, of course, with any online retailer, you want to make sure you are doing your due diligence, because the online space is kind of like the wild west, essentially. And so you want to make sure that the source that you're looking to purchase from is reputable. Make sure you're looking at their Better Business Bureau ratings, and just ask around to see what your peers or colleagues, if they're buying from any of these places. Now, one place in particular that's my personal favorite and has been for a couple of years now is Vaulted. And I will go ahead and share my screen. I know this is not, I'm not sure how I found out about them. I don't know if it was my husband or I saw it online. I'm not really sure. I don't recall, truthfully, at this point, but I've been using them for quite some time. And so I'm going to pull up their website so we all can take a peek. Now, what's great about Vaulted is it gives you the ability to invest in gold at essentially any budget. Any budget. So the way Vaulted works is you can buy gold in any denomination. So if you only have $25 to buy gold, you can buy $25 worth of gold. If you have $100, right, you can buy with whatever you're working with at the time. Now, this is what their app looks like, and so you will be able to see how much gold, you can see the price per ounce of gold, how much you currently own, and it has this pretty visual here to show like how close you are to getting to a full ounce, or how many ounces you own. It has that too. And so this is why I really do love this app. It makes investing in gold a lot more accessible than any other platform that I have seen up until today, right? And so I want to say last year they added silver. So now you can invest in gold and silver all in one place. And yes, they are selling investment grade gold. You have the option to have the gold kept by Vaulted. They do store it in a vault, or if you so choose, you can have the gold shipped to you. Now, there is going to be a fee for that. Now, they do charge, I want to say, an annual or semi annual fee to store the gold. It's very nominal. You'll barely notice it. It's not like this huge fee you have to worry about, which is also the other reason why I really do love this platform. Because a lot of platforms kill you with fees. And so Vaulted doesn't really do that. And their app is fantastic. Now, the way it works is you will have to first transfer money from either your checking or savings account, and then the money has to clear. So you can't just, I say that because a lot of us are used to the instantaneous investment ability, like with platforms like Robinhood or Webull, et cetera. Vaulted doesn't have that. You have to wait that clearing period before you can purchase the gold. So let's say, so today's Monday, you go into your account or you sign up for the account, you link your checking and savings account, you're ready to start making moves. So you're going to transfer money from your checking or savings into your Vaulted account. Let's say you transfer in $200. You will have to wait a few business days. I want to say it's like 2 to 3 business days. And once those funds have cleared into your Vaulted account, then it is available for you to purchase your gold. So it's a very simple process, which is also the other reason why I really do like the platform. And you can invest in any budget. And now, what I will say is this is definitely something you should consider. Whether you use Vaulted or not, investing in gold and silver should be a part of your overall portfolio. It's just a great way to make sure you are diversified, and these are assets that will always have value. So just I will put a link. I think it's already there. I have an affiliate link to Vaulted, so if you use that link to sign up, I will earn a small commission. But again, this is not a sponsored post, just FYI. So when we think about gold, though, I know that again, it is pretty expensive, which is why I did add silver to today's conversation, because silver is also a valuable asset. It's just not as sexy as gold, right? Gold is like the standard, and silver and everything else is kind of like second class citizens. And so, but silver is an asset that you can add to your portfolio, and it's a lot more affordable. And so I think for a lot of us, we have to stop thinking of this all or nothing mentality, right? If I can't buy gold, I can't buy anything. That's so not true, right? We have this Vaulted app that gives you the ability to invest in smaller denominations. So at your budget, it meets you where you are, or you can invest in silver. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we'll look at what silver is doing currently. Silver definitely has grown in value quite a bit in the last 5 years. I want to say it's grown like 96%, almost doubled in value if you look at it. So last 5 years, up 83%. I don't know why I thought it was more than that. I think it was higher on Friday. So anyhow, so it's definitely a great ROI in the last 5 years. And again, a lot more affordable at almost $40 per ounce. And so you can buy a lot more ounces because it's more affordable. And so I think it's something that you should also consider. If gold isn't quite in your budget right now, silver might definitely be. And again, slow and steady wins the race. So really think about it. And of course, you can buy at any retail that I mentioned previously. You can buy from a brick and mortar location, your brokerage account, online retailers. So many options when it comes to investing in silver. And I'm not invested in any silver companies currently. I'm not familiar with any, but I'm sure if you were to search it, you could find some companies that also mine and handle silver. Now, of course, outside of gold and silver, there are other precious metals like copper, zinc, platinum, palladium. So there's other avenues you can go when it comes to precious metals. But I think it's something that you really should consider as a way to diversify your portfolio. And it's not overly complicated, right? You don't have to you don't have to watch the prices of these assets. You know, for the most part, it's going to increase in value, and you're holding it for the long term for the most part. Very rarely do people like sell their gold just because. And it's a nice safety net to have in your portfolio. Now, when it comes to vaulted, the only thing that I would say is I thought there's a way to gift gold or silver or to buy a gift card, but when I tried to do that, it didn't work. So I need to reach out to them to see if that's like a glitch in their system or they no longer offer that, because I think it's really also a great way to gift valuable assets versus liabilities to people. And so it's something that I'm looking into, but I haven't quite figured out how to do that just yet. Let's see. I think that was really it for today's live. There was something else I wanted to cover, but I can't find it right now. So that just might be it. So if you do have any questions about anything discussed in today's live, whether it's gold, silver, or investing in general, feel free to leave a question in the comment section of this video. I will either respond to your comments directly or I'll make a video covering the topic. You'll be surprised at how many people do ask the same questions over and over. And so I find that if one person asking the question and two people ask the question, that usually means I need to make a video and cover the topic, because there are probably more people that have the same exact question. Now, yeah, no, I can't find it right now. So I think that'll be it for today's live. Now, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I do go live weekly here on YouTube. I primarily cover investing and money mindset. I also do a lot of reviews on credit cards and checking accounts and other financial products. So those are things you're interested in. So definitely the channel to subscribe to. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.